And we're back with section 2 of week 15, covering team
Yeah.
fights. You had a little bit of team fighting in that game, and a whole lot of throwing. I noticed a lot of throwing that one.
This is pretty good. Hold on, let me just adjust my window so it's not so bright. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now it's much less ambient light. Perfect.
When I saw you lose, it caused me physical pain. It hurt, man. That was
I'm in too good of a mood this week, man. I am immune to sadness today.
And honestly, I mean, I don't think you can take much blame. You have 16 kills as a Bane. Nobody else got close.
I think there were 3 significant fights that one of them was me just being in a bad position and being a little throwy. Yep. And then there were 2 where I just didn't properly. I really like this. No, Despy. Oh, for God's sake. I really like this loaded thought into your brain about how you want to use your abilities. And, Enfeeble on Storm, and then Nightmare, whoever's closer among Storm and Sven, and then try to hit one with the Fiend's Grip. I think that was roughly okay, in a lot of circumstances, but I whiffed it 2 big times, so fuck.
Yeah, I would say your skill usage in Ultra Late Game was okay, passable-ish. But it was kind of sloppy. Your early game stuff was all amazing. Like, you played really well early game. Like, the game should have been won from early game alone. But teammates let you down a bit there. Okay, well.
Yeah, I really would love to talk about late game and ultra late game ability usage, because I did feel like disproportionately unsure of when and how and where to use abilities. Bane early and mid game feels reasonable to me, but I don't really know those late game spots.
Late game, it's tough because people just run over you most of the time, so that can get difficult, basically. It's like the same thing as like when I talked about, Bristleback and SB. If they just sprint at you and you can only disable like one person at a time, it gets very difficult to know which guy you target, so we'll definitely cover some of that for sure. I loaded the replay up for the second game because I wasn't able to take clips the whole time setting up, but we can for sure go over the Lena game first, which should be pretty fast.
Dude, I want to give you my analysis of this, which was overall, I think that the weakest gameplay was in the first 10 minutes, where my last hitting was just overall weak. I think I over right-clicked on the Timber Saw because of temptation. That's it, because of temptation, because he keeps being at 1/3 health, and I'm like, if I chip him a little more, I can nuke him. If I chip him a little more, I can nuke him. And then you keep chipping him, and his health stays at exactly 1/3, no matter how many hits he receives, because he's an asshole.
I think you're slightly off on your assessment. I would say your early game was a little bit weak, but it wasn't your over right-clicking of Timber. It was the fact that you didn't ensure your last hits. You had a lot of cases where you just Dragon Slave, and he'd deny your range creep, stuff like that.
No, you're completely correct. Yeah,
that was the problem.
Yeah, it was definitely, my last hitting was low, and I think that I was overly focused on him was what was going on inside of my head.
Okay, so you focused too much on right-clicking him, and also you weren't efficient enough with your mana usage as well.
Oh god, it was
a little better about it.
Super
it would have
sloppy.
been easier to get kills. And something else I thought about this game actually is when he uses Whirling Death on you, it reduces your primary attribute temporarily, which lowers your mana even further. So that was something you ran out of mana, a little bit surprising, I think, during this fight or this little skirmish here. And I was slightly surprised. I was like, man, I thought you'd have more mana. Like, you basically ultied, you had full mana, more or less, but because of the Whirling Death, your mana pool was a little bit lower, which cost you. And in this moment, you definitely should have been spamming bottle earlier. You did it a little bit late.
Yep.
And it would have made it a little easier to get the kill.
Oh, did I get this kill?
No. He survived with the wand, and you dove past the tower a little bit, and then he kind of just...
Oh, I remember saying this. I remember. I was like, dude, what am I doing?
This guy should have gotten a double kill, though. Oh, he used Fissure Block from the shrine, I guess. Maybe as well. So it ultimately works out. You get back to the wave, and everything goes back to normal, so...
Yeah.
This one is pretty good. I like that you prep the range creeps.
Yeah. Around 5 minutes, I think, is when I decided that I needed to just stop being so spammy with my spells and just be a little more thoughtful about what was happening with my abilities. Excuse me, with my last hit.
I think the problem was that you didn't well integrate your nuking with your last hitting. They didn't tie together. Your nuking was almost always you trying to harass the Timber when it should your focus should have been get last hits with my right clicks, and if there's a last hit that I can't get because I attack something else, then I nuke while harassing.
Yeah, I mean,
You didn't hit 2 boxes every
totally.
time you used a spell. You'd use it for like one thing. You'd be like, I'm gonna get a
Super
last hit, or
100%.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
nuke him.
like, dude, you should have seen last Wednesday. The brain was just like, it was doing it so well. So, like, conceptually, I get it. I'm trying to figure out what the triggers are that are ejecting me from that loop of just get the damn last hit. Dude, last week was, oh, it was the last hitting god. And then at this point, I know in my head, I was just terrified of this Timber Saw. I was, like, so alarmed anytime you walked towards me.
Which there's no reason to be. Like, you're 7 minutes in, you've got a ton of mana because of Bottle as well as Arcanes. Why are you even standing here? Like, what's the point? Like, you walked up to give him a love tap, and now you're in his realm of him casting spells on you. You know, like you should either go farm creeps or nuke him and try to kill him, because like standing around and dancing with this giant flying blade thing is just like, what are you gonna do? This creeps do nothing to this guy, so you might as well go farm or do something else. Because that was a good what was the start of the clip? Like 15 seconds that nothing happened, and it wasn't until now where it was actually worth you casting spells. And that kind of stuff really hurt you, I think.
Yeah, for
you were
sure.
a little bit late to go for the regen as well, I believe. He beat you to it.
Oh, yeah.
I
was trying really hard.
That was fine. You broke his regen at least. This is all
I kill him?
good. I think this is the one where... No, maybe not. I do have the CM one. And maybe you do kill him. I can't remember. This shit's so weird. Like, I don't know why you're like running back and forth. It's just like... Nuke the creep wave, kill the creep wave, go do something else should be your priority. But you had this weird balance of what you felt like you should be doing, kind of. Even like right there, he probably should have tried to kill you, but he probably doesn't have Timber Chain because he's bad.
I think this is my first or second time I've ever played against a Timber Saw, so I was just like totally alarmed, just like deeply alarmed, trying to stay calm, but I definitely was very flustered.
Look at his last hits compared to his. He has 46, and he can't farm well, except for like him right-clicking, especially the first couple waves. You should be able to dominate him in last hits. But you have 0 denies at 8 minutes, and he got as many last hits as you, which is basically like, because you weren't efficient with your mana, you couldn't lower his HP to kill thresholds at appropriate times. You just kind of went even-ish. I mean, you got 2 kills, but it should have been a lot heavier. After you healed, you TP to the bot lane to try to gank, but I think this is way too early to do this, and what you should have done instead is what? What do you think?
Probably just go back mid, Farmaroo.
And look what's happening in the meantime. Timber's messing your tower up. And then you lost your tower like right away. Like that was so detrimental. Just go back mid, spam it out, go hit up the jungle. Do the same thing, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
This is the kill with CM. Again, inefficient with your mana usage. You Dragon Slaved and you Light Striker the creep wave. And now when the CM actually shows up, you don't have enough damage to do a full combo. Why throw out Light Striker away early in the last engagement, for example? Just didn't make sense. You could have popped your bottle earlier. You also could have Soul Ringed, right? Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't ready. Never mind. But you definitely could have popped your bottle earlier. Yeah. And then here, this right click was completely unnecessary. You right clicking this guy one time isn't going to kill him. You need to use, rather than an animation, using that animation, gap close and use your stun to guarantee the follow-up. And then ultimately you could have Dragon Slayed here instead of ultied because he was extremely low.
I ulti. Yeah.
Okay. You're getting into the bad habit of not using your Shadow Blade damage. You have to use your Shadow Blade damage. It's 175 physical, so it's basically a double damage hit.
I thought that, like, so in this particular game, I didn't use it very much at all, but I thought that it would be, that it is way better to get the stun off, because there's been a few times where I have gone for the hit Shadow Blade damage, and you said don't do it, and there's definitely been times when you said you got to use the Shadow Blade damage.
Well, it's a nuanced thing. This guy's squishy. We can tell by his health bars that he's just under 1k, so he's got almost no HP. It's also very difficult to predict where this guy is going to be moving right now. Let's look at his movement. He's standing in the middle of nowhere. I have no fucking idea why he's here. Why is he standing here? I have no idea. How are you supposed to predict where he's going to go? Like, okay, he's waiting for courier. Maybe as soon as you saw that, you should have waited a second to go, but I think your Shadow Blade was... No, you had some time. I would have waited until he starts moving the direction that he's going to go, then it's easy to land it. So you kind of broke invis too early. And even then, if you just right-click this guy one time and Dragon Slave and ulti him, he dies. So he would have to react in the time period that you can cast Dragon Slave and ulti. And that's the only way he'd be able to react. Like, you don't have to stun this guy. His HP is so low, you can just blow him up.
And so, for instance, if he was a carry in lane farming, who was more nimble, I might want to, like, just straight Light Strike Array Dragon Slave ult, because I'm just gonna I'm trying to increase the probability that I guarantee a kill.
Yes, Because a hit is 100% reliable, a Dragon Slave is 100% reliable, Light Strike Array or your ultimate is 100% reliable. Because you don't have to gamble on a hitting or not. That would be the easiest way. Because he's not going to be able, at your MMR, nobody's going to be able to react in time off of a hit at the same time Dragon Slave hits and then the ulti comes. Like, they're not going to lift you in time. So in that moment, it was definitely better just to go for the combo maximization. This was really dangerous, I felt like. And I don't think you should have gone for the Luna. As you can see from his HP, Luna's way tankier. She sometimes has BKBs, maybe a Manta style. It's more dangerous. And if you're diving under tower with a creep wave against a Eclipse,
really?
just kill the Rubik. It's so easy. Like, Dragon Slave, ulti, dies. Like, you almost killed this guy, but do you see how close this got? Like, if they get unstunned and you've used your full combo and they haven't died yet, that's really dangerous. In fact, he was able to steal, he didn't steal a good spell, but if this Ursa wasn't here, you don't even get the kill. So you should have realized that this was not a possible kill. This guy's got like 1300 HP. Maybe if you use the Shadow Blade in there and maybe cancel your animation. Like, if you use Shadow Blade after your ulti, he probably would have died because it would have been a double damage basically.
Yeah.
But you didn't do that. And even if you did do that, it would waste your Shadow Blade, which means retreating afterwards is kind of dangerous.
So supposing that, like Shadow Blade, may have killed him, may not have. The important thing I'm supposed to glean from this is that I need to be focusing on getting a super guaranteed kill on the important disabler, more so than maybe the kill on the carry.
Yes, but for me, it doesn't sound like a maybe, because I know you're not going to be able to kill this guy easily. Because this is two guys that are going to have disable. So as soon as the stun ends, whichever one you don't kill is going to fuck you up. Or disable you in some way. So if you have a whole creep wave...
Okay.
And even to kill this guy, look at what kind of position you had to do. Like, you ended up here. Like, shrapneled under tower, and you were forced to use Shadow Blade for movement speed. Like, if the sniper was just in slightly better position there, attacks you twice and ultis you, you die 100%. So just to kill the Luna, you had to do all this shit.
That is a very good point. Like, if you back up to the start of this fight, to sure what was going on in my head at this point, I was going, this is such a fucking good play by me. I was like, I am awesome. Now, if you keep going, okay, I'm going to share a little bit, because I think I even said this on air. I was like, and look, I'm using the lesson because I'm changing targets to the Rubik in the team fight. You're watching that like, hit the fucking Rubik!
and Luna's not even dead. Luna didn't even die.
I know.
She didn't die.
Oh,
you
man.
almost died. You basically took a greedy play, when instead what you should be doing is taking for sure kills. That's Lena's goal. And snowballing with that to a place where the game is just completely out of control. And that, I think, your biggest problem in both games is your late game right now. By far. Your early game is a lot better. The only games you've had bad early game now is basically when you play support and you pull heavily, from what I've seen. When you're roaming, like at least with the Bane game, it was great. And another thing, you're completely killing your team's tempo by doing this Ancient stack. You actually really, really messed up doing this. Because they have a dead hero for 26 goddamn seconds. And you're like, let's do this triple stacked Ancient camp. When instead you could have just gone to the lane, killed the creep waves, and attacked the tower until it died. Because you do 185 damage or something like that. And instead... you farmed Ancients.
Oh, dude, look at this stack. The stack is not going to be alive anymore, and the satisfaction. I'm not defending this. It's just very fun for me to say to you right now, because you're identifying such a gigantic mistake, and you're so passionate about getting me to not fucking do this that I just have to let you know how much money I earned from this and how important that was to me at the time.
And your whole team is in the area. And they finally respawn, and this whole time they're farming too, and probably a little about the same speed as you. So all you're doing is letting your team or letting your opponents catch up a little bit, when instead what you should do is force them to defend their towers, or you win fights there off of kills. So all you did was slightly increase your farm, but it wasn't as good as taking a tower and actually closing off the whole map. And this tier 2 tower, by the way, I'm pretty sure it didn't die until like 35 minutes or something insane, when it should have been dead right here. Much like the mid tower, he killed your mid tower before you killed his. That should never happen as Alina, ever. And this tower should have been dead at 22 minutes. And if those two things would have happened in the opposite order, this would have been a 20-minute game. But because you didn't pressure the map effectively, and generally you jungled way too much this game, because you had so many times where you were just hitting jungle creeps, like for a long time, it puts you in a really bad spot, comparatively to how you should have been.
Right. I think that the consistent pattern I'm seeing in all this is that at all of these times, the big errors I'm making are happening like after kills. Like I make kills and then I'm like, nice, and then I leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I go do something else.
Yeah, you go farm or something. And now even like taking the tower is difficult because all the heroes are alive. It becomes this like weird slow push thing. Here's another example of you not using Shadow Blade.
For some reason, I thought I actually used it there. That surprises me.
You didn't even get
I
close.
fucked up.
Straight up casted it. The TP was fine, I think, but if you would have attacked, it would have been a little bit safer, I think.
Yeah.
I liked your BKB choice a lot. For what reasons did you buy it?
I bought it because of the Luna was a big one, because of the Burneroo damage from Huskar, which I thought was magic at the time, but I realize I'm not actually certain of that.
It is magic, yes. You're right.
What a relief. But also, I know one of Timbersaw's abilities is pure damage.
They're all pure.
Every single one is pure?
Whirling Death is magic if no trees are cut, but it's pure with trees. The first skill, the one that spins around him.
Oh, but that's fucking right.
But either way, BKB will stop those. So BKB was a really good pickup this game. I was happy.
Wait, BKB will stop which ones?
All of Timber's spells. None of them work against BKB.
Wait, I thought pure damage meant that it pierced BKB.
Nope. It's a damage type. It doesn't mean the delivery mechanism is always consistently going through magic immunity. Brain Sap doesn't.
Oh,
can't cast Brain Sap on a BKB
Holy
hero.
Shit. Okay, yes. In that case, let me tell you the wrong logic I used to arrive at the right thing. So Luna was big for me, Huskar was big for me, and Rubik I was like, well, at least I can not get disabled, which I thought was,
that's good.
Possibly a threat, but and then I thought, I know that one of Timbersaw's things, one of his big common spells is magical. I don't remember which one, but I'll get it in that circumstance.
Okay. So wrong reasoning, but still ended up being a perfect choice. It was definitely the right choice this game, especially against Huskar, because this guy's too dangerous to deal with. This was awful positioning by you. Like, what the hell are you doing? That even had backdoor protection right before you hit it.
I know. Oh my god.
Look at this. Any hero is going to have this cast range from this point to here. Like a Crystal Mania with no items could initiate on you.
Oh my god.
Like you should be standing here, because this is a huge difference in range.
Right.
Like, and even this guy getting the jump on you was more easily made due to the fact of where you were standing.
Yeah.
To kill this guy, all you had to do is Silver Edge probably at the start, maybe. I see that he did halberd you though. But ultimately your BKB saved you. And this was also pretty much the game-winning team fight. But I'd like to point out your contribution to it. Can you tell me what it was?
Baiting. Was it the bait, Kevin?
I was going to say basically nothing, but yeah, baiting I guess can work. You didn't do anything to end this game.
Oh no, I fell into the newbie trap of I did nothing, but then I claim it was a bait. Oh shit, really I just did it on air, Kevin.
Look at your KDA this game.
Oh no.
Sean, you have fucking 15 kills. 15 1 of 4. That's like a godlike KDA.
Oh
but you did not end this game in the slightest. This was your opponents made kind of a stupid mistake. You bought a BKB, which was good, and you baited your opponents. But you did not end this game, and this is why you are having trouble in the late game, because you're not finding moments where you're like, I'm going to heavily punish them for making a mistake, and that's what you need to fix, because you're good at last hitting now. You're jungling too much, but you can fix that by going back to pushing lanes more. But you're farming extremely well. You're getting good kills. Now you need to make good late game decisions, kill heroes that need to be killed, and then do the right thing afterwards. Because you're never actually forcing the game to be closed is the problem. And you're relying on your allies' team fight decisions and teamwork decisions, which oftentimes will be wrong.
That sounds right.
And that's the only reason that this game got closed out relatively easy, was because this fight went so one-sided. Now your HP is low, so you don't even feel comfortable going up high ground.
Oh yeah.
You're sitting too far back. You should have probably sat in this area, not any farther back, because you can still help for sure.
Yeah, I think that another adjustment I need to make is that I kind of think of myself less as a point that I'm going to and as a vector. I am either going forward or retreating. I need to think more about where exactly do I want to stand.
When you started hitting buildings, I was very happy, because the game was already kind of becoming elongated unnecessarily at this point, especially like all the bot push stuff. Do you remember those where you'd pop BKB at a bad time and you run away? Like all of that was so sloppy because it gave them so many opportunities to take good fights against you and get back in the game, when instead it should have been this shit. Get 2 kills, go up high ground while they pop BKB and chase down the sniper, and you just just machine gun down their towers. Because as soon as you get 2 racks, the game ends basically. But before you finish like 2 racks, the game is still dangerous. And if you keep making bad late game mistakes, then it's going to make it really difficult to actually close the game out. So that was basically the issues. Oh yeah, this clip. I missed it. Like, you're by yourself. Yeah. You almost TP'd the bot lane as well, which is really bad. Like, this was... I have no idea why you did that.
You want an explanation?
No, I don't. I don't want to know that one.
Do you want to know? I can share it with you if it will be helpful in this moment.
You almost TP'd bottom. You saw if it was happening. Like, but TPing bottom I don't think is worth it. You had 2 lanes pushed in. You should just be focused on trying to get towers at this point. You should have stunned here as soon as he dived on the CM, because you know that he's going to stand here and auto attack, because when Huskars use ulti, they're committed. You also could have maybe, like, this guy actually 100% died because of you, in my opinion. He shouldn't have died there. The break was good. I like that. Then you used your skills really shit right now. Instead, that should have just been, like, if you're trying to end the game, kill the creeps as fast as possible to get your creeps on the tower, and then right-click the tower. So at the least, like, Light Strike Array and Dragon Scythe as many creeps as possible in that moment. Your BKB usage was obviously poor as well. I mean, you could still, remember, your CM could be alive right now if you would have stunned appropriately. And maybe then the next creep wave dies faster, and maybe she has an urn or something, and she can heal somebody up by 400 HP and they don't die to the sniper. There's, like, lots of little things like that that should just be the game getting closed out. So, yeah. And then you went back to pushing, which is the right thing to do in the moment. Okay. Alright, that was the easy game. Now we can just look at porn clips of you getting a billion kills in the early game.
Oh my god, this game was like the most insane start I've ever had with this character.
It was pretty incredible. It was very good. But do you know why it happened?
I personally feel that there were 2 reasons why it went so well. One is that Coddle helped the fuck out of me, getting so many mana leaks, and the other was that there was random characters with no hit points in the jungle all the time.
Yes, but you also looked there. Like, you were there. Those people were low, but there's low people in the jungle all the time. The fact that you went there was very good. Mostly the reason that you crapped on this game is because you had Draw Aura, which made your right click better, and because you feel very comfortable trading right now. So pretty much any time that there's a hero nearby you, you slap them, and a lot of times they will make mistakes because nobody at your MMR probably is this aggressive with a hero in the early game. So this is just your trading, better trading knowledge basically. There are a lot of really, like, this combo is really shit though, the Nightmare into Mana Leak one, and pretty much any time that Coddle uses Mana Leak, you should probably wake them up right away, because the Nightmare damage isn't really worth it. It's more important that you can attack them and they lose mana.
Oh, right. I can just straight up hit E and turn it off
right away. And that should be a very normal tool in your kit, that you can cast this on an ally for 1 second, it makes them invulnerable for 1 second, or yourself, and then you can remove it afterwards. So if you ever need to dodge a Sven stun, or if somebody's in Chronosphere, you can cast it on them, like one of your allies is decent, because he's chronoed anyways, right? There's lots of options like that that would be really good. I wish you would have attacked a little bit earlier. Like, as soon as this guy got mana leaked, I would have started him. Other than
I was a little unsure of if to attack at all. I think he accidentally path-found himself into death.
Other than that, it was really good. The early game was solid. Speed this one up a little bit.
Woohoo!
Like how you said, I got him like 8 times before successfully Nightmare. And this is again the problem. What does this do? It doesn't do anything unless this guy has Illuminate. If he actually had Illuminate, this might have been better, but I wish you were level 3 here. Would have been really nice, but ultimately fine.
Because I felt like I was not gaining levels super quickly, but what I felt like I was doing was fucking them up really badly.
Oh yeah, you were extremely fucking them up. But I would agree, your levels were a little bit low, but I don't think it was that big of a deal. And you still got a lot of kills at reasonable times, and I was really glad that you shifted down to get Arcane Boots and then moved to the bot lane to gank. That was all super good. Like, your first 4 minutes was just really solid. This kill was super good. It's a little bit of replay bug here, but yeah, you played this fight very well. I don't think you clicked on him enough, maybe. Is maybe one thing, because I didn't know how much mana he had watching from your perspective, but also he's pre-6, which I guess makes that easier. But it's generally a good sign if you have Arcane Boots and you're only level 3. That means you're doing a good job. Or you're super under-leveled, I guess.
That's either really good, or you are the worst player on your team.
Yeah. I called this one USAP. I don't know why. We'll find out.
Vaguely remember this fight.
Should have used Arcanes, seeing that his mana is low.
Oh shit, I don't have any. I'm sorry, I kicked out my audio cable again. I'm a dummy. Okay. Kevin, I heard nothing of the last 20 seconds.
Okay, you should have
I'm
used
back,
Arcanes to give mana to the Coddle as soon as you approach
Yeah.
this gank. The problem here was basically when the lane reset. It was fine that you guys didn't kill them because that was kind of a weird situation. Right here, I would have instantly just sapped the Storm. You've got full mana. It's free damage. He's going to lose some HP.
I need to do that a lot
and
more.
eventually, when the next fight starts, you'll be full HP. He'll be a little bit lower, and your ability will be off cooldown again. Like right here, 100% sap this guy. Because then when the actual fight started and you wanted to bully this guy, which is the right move, it just should have been, like, he should be at this HP right now, and you should be at, like,
Right, right. That makes so much sense. And I don't want to do it too much early. This I accidentally just clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay.
I yelled quite a bit at this point in time.
So you understand your mistake there. Yeah, that one's pretty obvious. Always sap first.
Well, the first point you made about just like, dude, just sap the shit out of targets. If you have boots and a wand and you're a little deep into the game, you can just sap as much as you need.
If you have Arcanes.
Yeah, I'm under sapping for sure because of the times when I would just throw out a bunch of saps. And
yeah, I mean, I liked this gank especially that you used Nightmare to maximize this damage because this guy was potentially low. Another thing you could have done that would have been really cool, and this guy's level 7. I don't know why he's only taking 18 damage from this. It should be more, unless that does pure damage, I'm not sure. But I thought it might have been smart when you Nightmared him to walk to his front and then zapped him. Because if you do damage from the front of him, then it does full. If you do it from the back, it might do less.
I thought pure ignored all damage reductions. Is it?
No. It against Bristleback, there's a couple cases where they can reduce it. So it'd be things like Centaur Ags, Bristle's back. There are some cases where it will do a percentage flat damage reduction, and that's a case where pure will be reduced. So either way, I like that you held the Nightmare the whole duration, do a little bit more damage. I assume that's what you're doing, and you got the kill.
Yes.
This is great. It was really good. Like, kills like this, like, that makes teams completely tilted. God, I can't believe this is the same game you just lost. God, makes teams completely tilted. It puts them in a really bad place.
You're getting tilted. You're,
dude,
oh god.
This was like the most one support game I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, no,
And this clip is ultra long, I think, so we're just gonna speed it up a little bit. Generally, I felt like you held your Nightmares too long, I think.
I tend to try to hold them as long as humanly possible every single time.
Well, do you remember what we talked about in the Chaos Knight game? Or the Chaos Knight clip that I showed you, the Teamfight one? Where the Bane Nightmare himself.
Right! Oh my gosh, yeah, because we need to not get the team lots of time to get set up.
To react. Because the longer they're Nightmared, the more time they have to TP, realize somebody's getting ganked.
So I need to wait until I feel like my team's close and then just go.
Or even just don't cast Nightmare at the start, because almost every single time that you did a gank in this game, you always Nightmared first. But there's definitely times, if you're ganking, you just run in and Fiend's Grip and say, like, I don't give a shit. The only time I wouldn't, maybe, is if I'm worried that they might silence me first, or if it's like a Jug Spin, for example. If I cast ulti, Fiend's Grip, on Jug, and he spins right before I cast it, the ulti will still go through, because it can stun magic immune heroes. But if I want to make sure that he doesn't spin, I'll Nightmare him first. And if he spins before my Nightmare goes through, then my animation will cancel and I don't waste anything and he spins. But if I Nightmare him first and then I immediately Fiend's Grip, I know 100% that he won't be able to spin and stop my Fiend's Grip damage. So there's some cases where you want to Nightmare first. But in this game, generally you just needed to like spam your ulti. This guy you should have just sapped right away, I think, over Nightmare. That would have been easier. And you definitely didn't need to wait that long. And you 100% shouldn't let him get unslept before you sap. That was almost a huge error. His mana is actually high enough to time walk. I don't know if he had the ability or not, but the fact that you let this end, like if he maybe he started walking there, so he just wasn't trying. But if he gets a time walk off and lives, I would have been real mad. But
I've messed this up a lot. Like, Brain Sap has a surprisingly long lead-up animation to it, so I was trying to line it up to where it hit right before it ended. I think, let's assume for a moment, though, that his health wasn't low enough. I think it was low enough that if I just Brain Sapped, he dies. But, yeah. But yeah, no, I super duper messed that up plenty of times.
He's under 250 right now, so this does like 230 damage, I think. It's actually close. And keep in mind that waiting until the last moment. First of all, you can also just click on his hero. We just saw you click on him there. He has 129 actually. So wait, like easily just sap this guy, or as soon as you Nightmare him, then sap him. Like, because every extra second of Nightmare, it's 20 damage. It's literally 20 damage. Just brain sap. Like, the only time that I thought it was okay to wait for max damage was against the Bristle. Every other time, there's no point. Like, the extra seconds a Nightmare, unless you need your team to get there in time, should just be setup time, brain sap for the kill. Every time. So that was sloppy. It worked out fine, but it could have gone bad, and it could have produced not getting a kill. This was good. This is a case where you Nightmared first. You had no reason to do it. Just grip the guy. You Nightmare. Batrider comes forward. Then you guys both casted your spells at the same time. Again, there's no reason. As soon as you, like, you guys are right in front of a tower. Delaying this at all is super dangerous. Because if Void, let's say Void is 6 or something, he just TPs and Chronos you guys, then your gank fails. And it should have just been a, you walk forward, you ulti him. Or maybe if you're really behind him, you sap first, then ulti. To get your sap off cooldown faster.
Makes
like that.
So much sense, yeah.
And look how much harder that was for you to kill. You had to right click this guy like 4 times. That shouldn't have been the case. And he gets a stun off on the bat. Like, if they had any support TPs or supports at all, that gank wouldn't have been successful. But either way, like, you've got 9 kills at 11 minutes, which is ridiculous. And it's mostly because your allies suck. And you're doing a good job. This is a good time to sleep first because it allows somebody to TP. This is perfect. Huge mistake you made, though, was that you're in melee range. This is so dangerous. If this guy actually had enough mana to Echo Slam, you could even die here. Because you're standing near a whole bunch of creep wave. Like, and that does more damage next to creep wave. You should be standing over here instead. That way, the only way he stuns you is if he uses Fissure towards you. Because just standing near him, he's going to get an enchant totem off, I believe. Because, of course, he's going to do that. And now you even delay your ability to brain sap him, because then he stuns you at the start.
Yeah, I literally was thinking, I am so smart, I'm going to body block this guy.
Yeah, no reason. Just
playing Heroes of the Storm again, man. Look at me go.
It's better if you just moved into a good position to brain sap him as soon as it ended, because the Medusa was also going to nuke him.
You're on point, Kevin.
And he used Soul Ring, so his HP is already a little bit lower than he expected to be. He's not even using his skills well, so.
Fuck, would have literally never, like, if you were not here, I would have just been like, guys, I am so amazing. Did you see me body blocking that Earthshaker? I mean, I thought I was the fucking man at that point.
Yeah, imagine if he had a Blink Dagger and enough mana to cast 2 spells. He could have double stunned you guys and then blinked away. Because you weren't far enough away to get a brain sap off. Because if he stuns you twice with enough enchant, or enough aftershock levels, it'd stun you for 3 seconds. This was good that you placed a ward over here. I really like that. This was appropriate considering where they have towers left over. So this is all really good. And then this is the end of the clip. Then, what did I call this one? Wasted Nightmare. Same thing. This guy is in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, technically, this tower should be dead, technically. But this guy's in the middle of nowhere. You do not need setup time. Like, you should just stroll in and Fiend's Grip this guy instantly. Because if he's just standing on Firefly and taking Napalm stacks, he dies instantly with, like, a 5-second Fiend's Grip. Like, it took so long for this to even happen. He could have... If he just, like, stunned you guys or something...
It's so painful now that you're just identifying... Because, like, I'm in this... like, dude, at this point in the time, I want to know, like, my whole body feels amazing. I got, like, testosterone coursing through my veins. I'm imagining people watching me going, damn, Day9's so sick. And you're watching going like, what the fuck is he doing? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a purple alien. Oh, fuck, man.
And look at how the Batrider reacts, too.
Shit.
Like, you literally just confused the Batrider. He's like, better not break the Nightmare. That would be bad. Bane would get mad at me. I've done that before. People will yell at me. Instead, he should be like, fucking grip him, dumbass. Like, let's kill this guy. Like, why delay this?
Yeah,
like,
all right.
Look at this. It's been like 5 seconds since his gang started, and Batrider just got on top of him to do damage because he got confused from what you did. Because he's too bad to realize.
Oh, my God.
Like, all that is just so... It just delayed things a lot. Okay, so... Generally, your late game teamfight decision was a little bit rough. This one was... You should have sapped instantly as soon as he got lassoed. Should have been your first move. Like, lowers HP, get your ability on cooldown. It's like 12 seconds or whatever. Increase your DPS. Right-clicking him is fine. Never do this shit. If you want somebody to die, don't fucking Nightmare them. Unless it's like, I need to interrupt Crystal Maiden ult briefly and I have no other stuns. That's like the only way. If you're trying to kill somebody, don't fucking cast Nightmare, because all it's gonna do is buy him at least 1 second, and then your team's gonna be like, should I right click him? They're just gonna get confused. Sap this guy, right click the shit out of him, and then once the lasso ends, make a decision. Like, realistically, you probably weren't gonna kill this guy anyways, but you guys are just comboing your ability so bad. And this is the first time you've used brain sap here. Let's count how many seconds this was.
It's Probably a lot. Probably quite a large number of seconds, I would imagine.
All right, it was 50 seconds. So it means by the time you finally use Brain Sap, and you could have Brain Sapped already. It's been 11 seconds. This would have been your second sap right there. This guy would be dead, probably. One more right click, one more sap, that guy dies.
I think, so I'm under-sapping and over-nightmaring for sure.
Yes. Like, you have so much mana on this here, you just don't need to, you don't even need to worry about it. Just keep casting it.
I'm just seeing my boots up right now. Pain.
Killing that was good, but I think I would have preferred that you chased for a disable maybe.
Script on Sven, yeah.
I mean, you could have gotten fissured or something, but like this would be a good time to just nightmare the void or the Dusa. Like if you just grip that guy right away, he dies probably. That would have been the best move, certainly. But like missing opportunities like that right there, where you could have just gripped the void and void dies and you take the tier 2, it really hurts you guys, because then you taking this tier 2 never actually happens, because all their heroes are still alive. Whereas if you kill void, maybe they don't defend. Like those are just
I think I tried to
crit
void and then he shot out.
But I mean, you didn't react fast enough. Like you're definitely within cast range right now. And let's look at the reaction time. I guess you did kind of try, but okay, that's fine. I guess. I guess you reacted reasonably.
But I mean, the concept's still important though. That like I need to be in positions to be fiend gripping a hell of a lot more often, and brain sapping a hell of a lot more often.
Yeah, exactly. Who's your #1 nightmare target this game?
#1 nightmare target.
Let's say 5v5 team fight, and let's imagine Chronosphere is down. Who do you nightmare every fight?
I was going to say Storm or Sven. Those are the two I'm trying to nightmare every single time.
That's wrong, in my opinion. I think you nightmare Bristleback every time.
Huh.
He's the tanky guy. You guys can't kill him easily. He's gonna fucking run at you. Put him to sleep. Give him a little nappy poo while you kill the rest of his team.
Bristle nap.
Maybe you nightmare the Earthshaker on the back line as well. Prevent his team fight from happening in the 7 seconds at the start where he wants to impact. I mean, yeah, if you can get a Storm on the back line or a Void or a Sven, that's pretty good too. But Sven was underfarmed as fuck because he sucked. Like, you should just, every fight, nightmare the Bristle, let him deal with it, and fight the other guys. Every
Dude, I cannot wait to have a live Coach and Bane session.
I'll coach you through people that need to be targeted, because that was the biggest reason you lost the late game is you kept saying, I gotta kill Sven, I gotta disable Sven. No, you gotta fucking Fiend's Grip Storm. Storm was the problem. Storm is hard to kill. Your team was like, we need an Orchid. Use Fiend's Grip. It's 5 seconds to disable, you know? Like, that's so much more effective. And then you also had to worry about, oh, he's got a Lincoln Sphere. Solve that problem. You're rich as fuck.
Enfeeble, yeah.
Buy a Force Staff. Force Staff is better. Enfeeble, as a cast animation, you could ball lightning and dodge and waste your animations. If you just get a Force Staff and you get the range perk, or you're just within range, Force Staff break, instantly grip him.
Oh, shit. It never occurred to me that I could Force Staff break a Lincoln Sphere.
This was extremely unnecessary to use both Nightmare. This is another example of you over-nightmaring. Like, I would have walked up to this guy. I would have probably just sapped him and gripped him, or gripped into sap. But by casting Nightmare, now you don't have Nightmare. And it was good that you ultimately went for the kill. But like, you had to use everything just to kill this guy, and you had to use Wand, and you had to use Glimmer just to try to stay alive versus this Bristle. It would have been really good there as well if you Nightmared before you grabbed the regen, because then your regen would have kicked in more.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been really good. And then the Medusa kind of fucked up by throwing the snake. That almost got really bad. And then you played way too scared at this point. You're a Bane,
I was horrified.
Get in there. Cast Brain Sap. Oh, and please stop getting a plus 200 mana talent. Oh god, it makes me so triggered.
What's the other talent?
Plus 6 frickin' armor. That's you remember mechanics lesson? How much survivability is that against physical? Do you remember the numbers?
Hold on. I know 7 armor was no, that's 7 agility per 1 armor. That's where I'm getting the number 7 from.
Okay.
So
it's 6%
Kevin,
per armor. So if
it's 36% physical resistance.
If you only take physical damage, you have 36% more HP, which means at 1140, that's like 360 HP against Bristleback. That's an insane amount, and it helps resist minus armor, which Bristle also has. So like physical survivability wise, it is a huge help, especially if you keep building like semi-tanky items on Bane. Like one game I bought Atos, and it was okay, but it also made me tanky, and I got the armor perk, which made my HP even better. But the mana is so bad. If you have Arcane Boots, it's not so bad, but 6 armor is a crap load, and against a Bristle and a Sven, I don't think there's any way you can justify getting the plus 200 mana. Because if you just get a
Is
4
that
staff,
true
like,
in most games where there's a lot of physical damage, just always go for armor? I felt like the mana would be super important. I mean, I'm not using it very much, but
it's important, but there's so many cases where you have way more than 200 mana. Like if you ever come back from the base and you've got 1400 mana, it's just not important. You're not going to cast that many spells. Whereas 6 armor is going to possibly save you in a lot of cases where you should otherwise die.
oh, interesting.
Like that. Do you remember when you almost died to the bristle in the mid lane that one time?
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
my God. Yeah.
He would have had way more HP after he quill sprayed you that many times. And now we're kind of at the part of the game where you just had a lot of issues closing up. Which, how should the team fight go in this 5v5? What should happen?
So the way the team fight should go is the big thing that I'm looking to play around is Chronosphere as like the big initiation. And so in this game, I said the 2 big damage dealers are Storm and Sven. So I need to try to disable one of them and with Nightmare and Fiend's Grip the other one.
Okay.
Well, that I'm starting to go into what my role is and not answering the way that the fight should play out.
Again, remember that just because there's 2 damage dealers doesn't mean that you should put your 2 disables on them. It should be It should be more like those are those guys. I should disable one of them, and we'll deal with one of them not being disabled.
Yeah, I mean, like your comment about Bristleback, it just immediately makes so much more sense that he's the clear Nightmare target. I just wanted to frame like how exactly I was thinking of it in the game at the time. And so my thought is Drow or Medusa should be doing some sort of chipping damage from afar, just with their super duper range. And Cuddle's doing sporty things. That's fine. I'm getting ready to blink in, try to disable the targets that I was talking about. And I thought that maybe if Batrider gets a pick off, that could tilt it in our favor. But basically, it was play around a big Echo Slam or a big Chrono, and then try to disable Sven and Storm.
What are your guys' tools?
In the fight?
How do you make your fight easy?
I mean, honestly, the way that we... Let me think for a moment.
I'll give you a tip. It's Batrider. Batrider fucking blinks up, he lassos somebody, he pulls you to the low ground, and you guys fucking kill him. And hopefully not everybody gets Chronosphered. Fight's easy then. Never happened.
Oh, well, sure. Oh, I thought you meant outside of the stuff I'd already said. I was like,
Like, nobody ever did that. Like, the Batrider never did this. He just sat around, and, like, when the Earthshaker went in, he jumped in then to try to lasso somebody, but it didn't work. So it's like, losing these kinds of opportunities where you guys could have taken a fight there, and there was an Echo Slam, I think, and nobody died. Like, there's no reason for you guys even to back. If this guy has an Ags at this point, which he should because it's 27 minutes, everybody full heals, and now you go high ground again because Echo Slam's on cooldown, ideally. Huh. But you guys never took those opportunities, and it's honestly difficult to do so as Bane, especially when they have this much AoE, because you can't just, like, jump high ground, cast your spells, disable everybody. It's more like you have to wait till the fight gets disjointed, then you use your spells on the right targets.
I have consistently felt a little impotent in late game as Bane.
It's definitely hard. It's very reliant on your allies doing the right things. This was great. The grip on the Void to get the kill. This is the point where I was like, okay, he's going to win the game with this team fight. Again, the way you reacted to Sven, absolutely don't Nightmare there. If your Medusa uses her ultimate, that means that you guys are chasing them. Like, if Medusa uses ultimate, they have to run 100%. If they don't, they get disabled. So what I would have done is Enfeeble first and then react. Just focus on reducing his damage. Enfeeble target primarily should be Storm and Sven, with occasional Bristle if he's out of position. But ultimately, this was good. You got this tower, and this should have been the game ending, basically. 2 dead heroes. You guys can push for another, like, 2 minutes, maybe get a second Rax, but it didn't happen. So that's all I took for clips, but we can jump into the game to clean up the rest, if you'd like to take a look.
If you think it's useful, I think that there's a lot of continued again and again and again, just like was trying to get some sort of Enfeeble Nightmare combo off on somebody.
And instead it should have just been simple.
I think that this is another game where I don't really know how to think about anyone else on my team. Like, I know that there were not a lot of blink, lasso, pullback type things, but I'm still not able to process all the full extents of a lot of the fights.
Gotcha. I'd say part of the issue is that your allies build kind of crappy items. You don't go Deso Drow, that's bad. This should have been like a butterfly or something. And your Dusa was okay item build wise, but Mjolnir's not great. I think if both of you guys built butterflies, or if both of your cores built butterflies, I think the game was so much simpler. The Coddle recalled you. So this is probably the fight that you guys should have easily won. So I'm gonna go to free camera here and then look around.
Okay, yeah.
So this guy is hard as hell to kill. He's got Lotus Orb. I don't know if you nightmare this guy. And remove the nightmare. I don't know if it removes both nightmares or just yours, but I assume both. You don't really seem to know what you should be doing right now. But what you should be doing is something about the backline. Like you're like, I can't touch this bristle, which is true. But there's other heroes, and you've got a blink and a glimmer and a BKB. Like they have a dead hero. They use Chronosphere. You see these guys because you have high ground vision.
Right.
A storm. You should just jump in and mess people up. Like even if you pop,
really.
Yeah,
no way.
At this point, absolutely. They have a dead hero. Storm's at like half HP. If you pop BKB, all they do is physical damage to you. And this guy doesn't have that much. And if you interrupt his blink, then he's not blinking in. This guy doesn't have blink. I didn't realize that.
By the way, can you enlarge my Skype window? Because I have the roof. I have the roof.
Actually, you need to make it smaller. Oh, wait. No, I don't.
Ooh, yeah.
Now the little thing.
Oh my god, his little buttons. Widen me. Let's get me huge.
How do I solve this problem?
It's a tech disaster.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, closer. Nope, there's still a big bar.
Damn,
Still a bar. One time. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, that works. I can see the Skype buttons over your shirt, but
good.
We'll pretend they aren't there. Okay.
Okay.
So this guy's messing up your team. Whatever. Just blink in here. I would maybe Nightmare the Earthshaker, pop BKB, maybe Fiend's Grip the Sven. No, that's not going to kill him.
No
this does like
way.
what?
Like literally, it should deal like 1,000-ish.
That's a shitload of damage. You can do 1,000 magic damage to this guy, and you could brain sap him. It probably won't kill him, but you could for sure go up here, deal with these two guys, which should give your team time to deal with the bristle, which they can't do because they don't have the right items. They need a silver edge on the drow or something.
God, dude! I gotta say, I had absolutely no idea it was even an option to sort of dive in there and fuck people up.
But you have to know when it's the right time. If you had +6 armor, you would have probably felt way more comfortable doing it because then you'd have 17 armor, and if they right-click you when your BKB is active, it does less. Or like
wow, I did not know that tool was even in the toolkit. Because I mean, like now it makes sense with your earlier comment. Like if the fight's starting to get disjointed, this is where Bane really shines. When it's like big groupy doopy together fighties.
Yeah, like look, you have 4 heroes right here versus a storm. You broke his Lincolns already. You don't have Fiend's Grip. But maybe there's a way to deal with him. And you maybe could have gotten 90 feeble damage as well. I think that
I debated that pretty hard.
I think you probably made the right choice, but considering that you already had a mobility item and blink, I think you could have gotten away with going the 90. If you use it well, it's god tier, because this basically, it would make this guy hit for 30 damage. He would still get overload procs, but that completely gimps his damage.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cast that on like Bristleback and the Storm and the Sven, then all of a sudden they do no damage. You didn't use Glimmer quite in time. I think you could have basically pressured that guy easier. You have a Nightmare. I think you Nightmared the Storm to break Lincolns was the problem.
Yeah.
When instead it should have been. And even using Fiend's Grip against the Sven, it's just not needed. I don't think you needed to. That guy was going to die anyways.
Yeah, I think I definitely undervalued the Storm and overvalued the Sven.
If you just sap that guy, he's pretty much dead. And then if you break Lincolns and Fiend's Grip this guy, you guys win the game. 100%. Storm was dead. Fiend's gripping this guy right now. He dies 100%, even though your allies are low. And then that means there's 4 dead heroes. He doesn't have buyback. 3 dead heroes. He doesn't have buyback. It's just an Earthshaker and a Bristle. You win.
We can just pretend that we won the game at this point.
Okay, I'll pretend that happened.
Solid game. Good showing. 15-6. No problem.
And again, if they had better items, this maybe wouldn't have been as much of an issue. Maybe this guy gets a Lincolns or something like that. Maybe this guy actually has more survivability. So would have gone easier. All right. I think we've watched enough. The game ended at 42 minutes in our minds.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much, but I really appreciate that.
Let's move on. But as a whole, you played that game extremely well. You just... Oh, God, it's out of date again. There's another update.
Oh, I can't believe it's done this.
Let's go to this one. There was an update during the game as well. One of the last ones you were playing.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of updates, a lot of updates. I have heard that since Siltbreaker has come out, there's been a whole lot of... quick updates, quick updates,
they also
dude updates.
The in-game spectating. They changed the gold advantage thing from like a bar to a percentage on both sides. It's less obstructing, which I kind of liked.
So what I want to do is I want to do this game, but Kevin,
yep,
I'd like to use the restroom.
Okay, that's doable.
I haven't made a pot of coffee yet. I'm trying to just live off my morning coffee. So what I've been doing is drinking shitloads of water, sort of as a replacement coffee.
Okay. That sounds good.
Which is
very
sort of
quick break.
tragic.
I know you've been only 20 seconds max, so.
Yeah. Okay. Here I go.
Right,
You're back. Run.